So hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna develop more solutions for the problems that we face in our day-to-day life, always with the focus in trying to explain and show to you, or if you just by grasping some of the mental models existing today, you can already try to create really good solutions for the majority of the problems that you face in our day-to-day life. And I really believe that as better you are in the skill of problem solving, as better you're gonna get in your life in terms of being well succeeded. And then as better you grasp it, better I think you're gonna get better as well. So in that skill. And then what's going to be our problem today is going to be the elite reality distortion field. And then how you combat it, the 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 reality is that elites they take actions that influences everyone that are obviously includes a lot of people that are not what we can call as the elite group. And then normally these elites they have sold the power centralized on them because they're in government, because they have the resources, and they tend to take decisions that are not the ones that the majority of population feels are better, because the reality is that the elites don't have enough data that makes them so take the best decisions, because they don't live of what the average person lives and the problems that he deals. And then obviously they will never will be the ones that are the better ones to solve the problems that some common person face. And then how to fight it is by using mental models that we're going to try to look at. So first, epistemic bubble. A model is the vital immersion. So what's the problem here? Elites, they inhabit isolated ecosystems, gated communities, and private clubs. And then what's like antidote here by knowing this? We have the minimum wage survival. The officials must live 1 year on local median income, no external contacts. And reality passport. Access to power requires 200 hours a year in essential services. Here, sanitation crews. As example, the SEALs may work as a ride-hail driver, reformed labor laws in 30 days coming from that experience. So basically, people getting the data, how you do is one of the ways is a part of them getting the position that they get is obligating them so to take this type of activities, and then make them understand better the problems, because obviously it's better, you have more empathy towards someone, and then you tend to create a better treatments toward that people if you have passed for what they're passing right now. And then that's this type of law getting applied here. Second, the cost of living blind spot. What's the model? The narrow inflation. What's the problem? Elites, they underestimate price impacts. For example, the cooking gas 2% of their income versus 20% for the poor. And then what's the antidote here? The scarcity simulator, the virtual reality that digitally reduces salaries during policy decisions, the algorithms converting policies into percentage of public income. Example, your tax equals to 18 days of labor for construction worker Carlos. As example, so we have the Swiss parliament rejected tariff hikes after VR simulations. 3. The social parallax model, fractal mirrors. What's the problem of the social parallax? They dismiss systemic issues as isolated cases, and what's the tips for that? The pain assemblies. 50 randomly selected citizens present human costs of policies twice yearly. Mandatory live stream in government buildings. Biometric dashboards, real-time heat maps of social suffering indicators. As example, the Bogota reduced transit fares after a mother showed medicine versus transport spending ratios. 4. Meritocracy illusion. What's the model is the birth lottery. What's the problem here? Attributing success solely to effort while ignoring privilege. And then what's the antidote here? The life path simulator. Artificial intelligence generates alternative lives if born in favelas rural areas. And mobility reports your odds of reaching power if born in Maranhão, for example. Maranhão is a region of Brazil, is 0.02%. So, opportunity tax fund scholarships for people from simulated backgrounds. As example, the Argentinian judges fund scholarships after privilege simulations. Obviously, it's just ideas. It's you can average some of them, other ones you cannot. but it's just ideas to prove it of these mental models. They are generators of ideas for the problems that you face, and as well they're good because they help you to understand the better the problem. And then so going on, we have the urgency myopia. Model is the suffering clock. What's the problem of the urgency myopia? Prioritizing luxury problems, for example, innovation over basic needs, and we see it a lot. Or even worse, is prioritizing entertainment over basic needs. So we have seen mayors, for example, in Brazil, that they have spent a lot of the political resources in people that obviously the people that are seeing people from the region they like to see people singing they like obviously so this type of guys of the entertainment group, but the reality is that these public resources could be allocated in satisfying some of the basic needs that in the regions they're not getting even satisfied. And then so it's like a way to distract the people by spending money on famous people that they go for singing in that shows instead of spending that money on the basic needs that will be much better. And then, so for example, what's the antithesis for that? We have the pain-based hierarchy. Policies ranked by measurable suffering reductions. Example, hours saved in humans. Insecurity stamps on documents. Delaying these equals to 34 annual deaths. As example, the Portugal's national distress index that gets the budgets. Six, the temporal distortion model. Existential timer. What's the problem? Underestimating population's time poverty. Example, 4 hour day cumulates. So what's needed for that? Time density VR. Officials experience compressed poverty routines when a real hour equals to 8 simulated hours. Hidden cost law. Projects must calculate out wasted human hours. Example, the California's government repealed fees after leaving a simulated triple job week. 7. Statistical hallucination model. Faces behind data. What's the problem here? Seeing people as data points, not humans, and then these take them to take decisions that obviously don't have in count that they're dealing with people and not just like pounds that so what we more close tend to treat people if they're presented as data points. And then so what's the is for that? Humanized policy allows required human certification of photos, testimonies from affected individuals. Meeting includes symbolic objects, worn out delivery shows on tables as example. Emotional neural tracking. A monitors detect when officials ignore human evidence. As example, the Canadian Senate displays photos of policy delay victims. 8. Institutional narcissism, the model of sortition democracy. So, what's the problem of the institutional narcissism? Believing only elites can govern, and this is obviously one of the most common things. And so, what's needed for that? Citizen assemblies, 30% of committees filled by lottery, maids, laborers, unemployment. People's veto, policies with plus 40% citizen panel rejection freeze. Mirror media. Elite outlets produce parallel editions in peripheral languages. Examples: the France binding Climate Citizen Convention. So with that, I expect that you have understood what is like the statement that I pretend to pass. You just grabbing mental models, you can already be much more creative than just being one that frees the mind, expect some idea to come in. No, the better way is like to get these patterns because they are logic. They create logic, so to think. They create logics for the solutions, and then so make it easier to create that solutions. So a reality check emergency kits like a daily protocol. First, bubble alarm. App asks 3 times a day, would your driver benefit from your last decision? Second, mirror governance. Meetings begin with 5 minutes of valid resident videos. This, and then so a statement that's obviously could be a good one. Disconnected elites are evil. They're just like neurologically incapable of perceiving other reality. Society must recalibrate their senses, and is adapted from Jesse Souza, the elite of backwards. So creating we could like look as well for creating accountability systems like with mechanisms of disconnection terminal, judges policies solely on citizen testimonies, delusional tax, so 0.5% health fines for proven cost of living underestimation, merit by proximity, 70% of high appointment roles filled by public service veterans. Okay, data. Elites underestimate poor households living costs by 7 times, and it's coming from a relatory of OECD. Policies designed without immersion have 83% higher failure rates, and this coming from World Policy Journal. So with that, I expect that you have liked the video. I expect you also to subscribe, and I hope to see you in other videos this channel is about to produce. So thank you and see you in the next one.